first question for you, Mary. When are we going to start our Holo nodes and be able to log into them?
Sure. So I kind of saw this question coming and have the short answer first, which is we should be able to start testing again with a small group of community members in our staging in about a week and a half. I think we've put a couple of notifications out there on the forum and in Telegram, a couple other places about this. And then after we finish and review the solutions basically to some of these root cause, like these issues that we've discovered that have been blocking our release. So kind of what I want to dive into a little bit more, and a lot of this is actually, if you're a host, you can find a lot of this out on the latest update that we put on the Holo forum. We'll be getting it out more generally to the rest of the larger community in a Medium article tomorrow or maybe at the end of the week. But basically, when we started testing on Holoports, or when we got the Holoport network up and running with everybody registered, we sort of, at that point, we activated some infrastructure that really, for us, allowed new forms of testing, the Holochain apps. When we run HoloFuel on Holoports, it's testing integration across a whole bunch of different layers of infrastructure. It's testing the web UIs, the Holo network. It's testing the Holoport OS, the system software, and it's also testing base functionality of Holochain in ways that our test simulations weren't doing and really couldn't cover at the time. So as we moved from testing in just the test framework in virtualized environments to the physical Holoports, we surfaced a lot of issues that weren't previously detectable. Some of these issues were rooted in the implementation of Holochain that's led to some refactoring work within Holochain core. Others were in networking. Some of the issues were actually in the HoloFuel application itself. And then a few other things were related to how Holoports update, whereby one of the issues in particular was it would restart the conductors and replace configurations that we really need to be more constant. So, we also encountered just issues also, and we started talking about this recently, related to our DevOps processes. So this is how we're promoting our code from development environments into QA and then out into the public alpha testnet. So sounds like the sorts of things that everybody runs into, right? When you're doing software development and deploying software. And that's true. DevOps and all these, lifecycle processes are normal, but it's not quite normal. It's pretty novel when you're doing it with some of the new architecture that we're working with distributed software and distributed frameworks. So, it's been more of a sort of R&D effort to kind of identify how it is that we really need these processes to work. We just going and implementing things that you might use in a centralized approach wasn't really working for us. We've all done that. We're familiar with a lot of those things, and the same tenets don't always apply. So, the architecture would wind up affecting all different aspects of our environment setup that we weren't expecting. And really, HoloFuel, as our first fully deployed HAP on the network, it's teaching us all these different lessons about how all other Holochain apps are going to need to be tested and deployed. So this is really great. So in the wake of all of the findings, our team's not just working to resolve the issues, but they're also, we're taking this time to distill our findings and our learnings and help to document these things so that other HAP developers out there in the community can really get a lot of best practices from this experience that we're having right now. So, we really hate that there's been these delays, but we know that this testing process is super important. And we're testing both internally, but also with a limited group of community testers that are working with us. And this is just what brings integrity to the whole process and has us know that we're going to get the software built right and tested correctly. So that's about where we are right now.